Hello, this is Michael, host of the Tin Dog Podcast, and I just wanted to ask you, yes, you, for a favour. I know what I'd like for Christmas. I would like you to vote for me, the Tin Dog Podcast, in 2 awards. If you went to the Tin Dog Podcast website, looked at the right-hand side of the screen, and clicked on the Vote Now screen, and click on the European Podcast Awards, and click on the Doctor Who Online Best Podcast of 2012 awards, and vote for me. Now that's what I want for Christmas. Because if I get just 10 more votes, I could win. So your vote literally counts. I'll leave it with you. Be seeing you.
Scanning for audio.
Welcome to another Tin Dog Podcast. Now, like I was saying last time, I went to Dimensions 2012, and on the way I decided to catch up on a bit of, well, let's put it this way, a bit of Big Finishness. Now, I had 2 things lined up, both of which I almost managed to finish. The first one, Voyage to Venus, and the second one, Dominion, Unit Story. I'll be talking about Unit Dominion next time. This time I just needed to cover Voyage to Venus.
Coming soon from Big Finish Productions. Doctor Who, Voyage to Venus.
Well, dash me optics. A floating city in the clouds.
Mr. Jago, Professor Litefoot, you are standing on the planet Venus.
Good Lord, Venus.
You've caused me a great deal of trouble, Doctor.
Always do what you're best at, that's what I say.
We make no sudden movements, or I'll have no choice but to use this weapon.
This voyaging to far-off worlds often like this.
Being accosted by people waving guns about. Yes, that's pretty much par for the course.
Captain, over there, skulking in the foliage, 3 natives.
Of course, we mean rumble. What the deuce? That was a near miss. Tell me, Doctor, what do you know of these Venusians?
Well, not much, I'm afraid. I've met them a couple of times before, but never during this particular time period.
Sorry, don't follow.
I mean, when I met them previously, it was several hundred years in the future, relatively speaking.
No, still not with you, old chap.
Don't forget, Henry, the Doctor's machine can travel in time as well as in space. What he's saying is that he met these Venusians before, but at a later date.
Ah, I understand.
Do you?
Not at all, no.
Subscribers get more at bigfinish.com.
Now, I'm not sure what happened at the end of the last series of Jago and Litefoot. Unlike many other podcasters, I've never actually made it through their stories. I have them all ready to listen to and possibly review, but as everyone else loves them so much, I was kind of concentrating on other things. So whether the Doctor meets up with Jago and Litefoot at some point as part of that story leading into this one, I'll just assume that that's the case. And you know, that's fine. Assume away. You don't need to have the Jago and Litefoot stories. Apparently they're fabulous. Apparently they're the best thing Big Finish have made in years. I've just not heard them and can't possibly say how good they are because of that. I'm sure after listening to this, however, I'll be going back and experiencing them as soon as I can. Voyage to Venus and Voyage to the New World are 2 new stories, directly following on from each other. Voyage to the New World isn't out yet, but Voyage to Venus is. Jago, Litefoot, 6th Doctor, perfect, over-the-top combination, travel to Venus. At some point in Venus's history. The actual date, well, that's open for debate, and his makes-up actually part of the story. Lovely Empire thoughts, the English in space, works particularly well with Big Finish, and Victoriana is in. Doctor Who lends itself to steampunk, and yes, you can have a drink if you're still playing the Tin Dog Podcast drinking game, so well to Doctor Who. Doctor Who itself is practically steampunk before it even had a word. Retro Victoriana. It's just a lovely little story, and best of all, it costs you £1. To download this story, you can own it for practically nothing. If you've never experienced Big Finish, get this. It's a lovely introduction to audio drama. I know in America there isn't the tradition of audio drama, not since the 1950s. It's still there, every so often showing its head, but radio is primarily a musical medium. Here, we have a tradition of audio drama. So if you've never experienced it, please shell out a tiny, tiny bit of cash. Amuse yourself, embrace it, and experience this brilliant story. Like I said, 2 characters from the talons of Wen Chiang and the 6th Doctor manage to travel to Venus in the TARDIS and have an adventure worthy of, well, some very classic 1930s and 1940s sci-fi. Obviously given the Doctor Who twist and enough technobabble just to accept it. It all fits in so well with the 3rd Doctor's Conversations of Venus as to make you go, yeah, actually this works. There's a thing mentioned at the end that makes the old-school fan in me just beam rather than grimace, as so often happens when they mention old things. But I won't spoil that to you so that you can share in the same moment. So yes, I would wholeheartedly recommend this particular story. I have no doubts whatsoever how brilliant it is. The 6th Doctor has also been in the jungle on TV. I could pass comment on it, but as I don't know Colin personally, I don't know his motivation. So anything would be said would just be speculation. I don't like speculating about real life. I like speculating about fiction. Real life's complicated, messy, ugly, disappointing. A bit like reality TV. Narrative has beginnings, middles, and often, as long as the show isn't cancelled, ends. So good luck to Colin. If this is what he wants, good luck to him, I'm sure he'll do well. But here's a story set in a jungle that you can actually enjoy. After the credits, there'll be a song from BBC Radio 4's Now show, all about Colin's time in the jungle. Be seeing you. You have been listening to the Tin Dog Podcast. Doctor Who and its associated shows are copyright of the BBC. No infringement is intended. To contact the show, email tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk. To order, or simply find out more about the book Whostrology, the Time Traveller's Almanac, visit whostrology.com. The Tin Dog Podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.
Please welcome Mr. Mitch Benz. I'm a celebrity. Yeah. Never missed it. Never seen it. Never missed it. Might have to make an exception for the new series, and it's not because of Nadine Dorris. Colin Baker, you were the least popular Doctor Who. But it isn't your fault you came bottom in that vote. It was the scripts and the producer and that stupid bloody coat. Colin Baker, the show was ropey and they all blamed it on you. Now you're heading for the jungle and one more shot of fame. So remember Tony Blackburn and remember that it's only a game. Vengeance on Varos was the best of all your episodes in 1985. Might I point out the irony? It was about a nasty planet where everybody sits at home just watching cheap sadistic game shows on TV. Colin Baker, life can be tricky for a former Doctor Who. But Sylvester's in The Hobbit because they're big fans of the show and they're making some more Star Wars, so you never bloody know. Colin Baker, we will be tuning in and voting just for you. We'll keep you in as long as possible and not just to be mean. So win all the Bush Tucker trials and try not to murder Nadine. Don't kill Nadine. Don't kill Nadine. At least not off screen.